That'd be the ultimate Sports Center video. And she goes, no, he'd get mad at me. And I said, no, I'm just joking. But you got to tell us about your dog and about the treadmill action.
Well, it's you know, I always like to keep myself in shape. You know, I try to do that. I think it's even more important as you get older to continue to train and, you know, keep you physically in shape as much as you can. And so I try to work out light with weights in the morning, and then I do the elliptic machine after. And right now I do 6 miles at a pop on it, you know, which is pretty good. And, you know, my dog, when I first started training, he loves to participate in anything that I do and wants to be around me or my wife constantly. And so he immediately looked like, what do I do during all this? And he got up on the treadmill, and we turned it on with no training at all, and he now runs on the treadmill while I do the elliptic machine. And of course, I got a TV screen in there, and if The Young and the Restless is on, we watch that. If it's before that, we watch The Price is Right, or we watch Sports Center, depending on what time of the day it is. But, yeah, he trains with me every morning, and it's kind of nice to be able to do that. And even when the weather gets bad here in Minnesota, that's what's good about it. We can train indoors, so it's a good thing. And, you know, dogs will adapt to treadmills. I don't think, though, if they are allowed to be introduced to them in a good manner and not get frightened of them in any way, shape, or form, a dog will run on a treadmill, and it's a great way to keep them in shape. And like on days like today in Minnesota, when it's raining out all day, saves you from having to go outside.
Well, especially a prize German Shepherd. Now, he has a public name, and then he has his real name. But this is a well-trained German Shepherd, really smart.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, he's not a German Shepherd. He's a Belgian Malinois.
Okay, well, it looks like a German Shepherd to me. I'm ignorant.
Well, no, you're not ignorant. They look very much alike because years and years ago, the German Shepherd, I believe, came out of the Belgian Malinois. Oh. He is just called a Belgian Shepherd. You have a German Shepherd and a Belgian Shepherd, and they're slightly different. The Belgian's a little bit smaller, doesn't get the hip displacement problems because your German Shepherds are big. You know, they get 90 to 110 pounds or more. And any dog that gets that big is going to have the problem of the hip displacement stuff or run the risk of it. Not saying they all will, but they run a greater risk, where the Belgian Shepherd is about between 70 and 80 pounds. And that 20 pounds difference can make all the difference, apparently, between the hip trouble, you know, and then, of course, a lot of it could be hereditary, too.
Is Dexter looking up at you right now, Governor?
No, he's upstairs sleeping. He did his treadmill this morning, so along with me. So now he's taking a break while I talk to you.
So, how many miles did the Belgian Shepherd do?
Oh, I usually put him on there for about a half hour to 45 minutes. You know, I don't keep track of the miles. I just set it at a particular pace and let him go for 30 to 45 minutes. It gives him good exercise. Incredible.
Wow. All right, Governor, stay there. We're coming back to the full audience. We're going to get into a host of issues, election 2012, the TSA, and more with Jesse Ventura. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones. I'm looking for people that have the wisdom to spot savings, opportunity, and recognize risk. Saving means to make money. The Cal Ben Pure Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated and twice as good as what you're using now. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils that contain no useless dyes, perfumes, deodorants, or antibacterials. Your risk is the hundreds of hazardous toxic detergents that give you rashes, itching sores, and deteriorating clothing called lint. If you want something better, if you want something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. Getting a free catalog is easy by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Take charge of your health now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Okay, former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura is our guest, New York Times best-selling author, 4 or 5 times over. His latest book, by the way, is available at Infowars.com. 63 documents the government doesn't want you to read. He's got some new books coming out as well. We'll see if we can get him to talk about that. 3rd season of the hit TV show that I think has had a lot of courage, conspiracy theory, getting into Rex 84, FEMA camps, the whole 9 yards. We're going to talk to him about election 2012. He's got some breaking comments on that that he relayed to me yesterday that are certainly newsworthy. Also, we're going to be looking at the TSA as much as he can say about his lawsuit that the judge still hasn't ruled on. We're talking about a long period of time here. That's all coming up. But out of the gates first with Governor Ventura, some breaking news yesterday. And I've actually gotten some calls about this separately, but I couldn't confirm it. But I do see that there are some publications here that are talking about it. And the production company has told Ventura that it's true. So if it isn't true, it's an elaborate hoax. But Governor Ventura, you want to tell folks what's going on with the TV show?
Well, we're in the middle of production of our 3rd season, and, we've settled on 8 more conspiracies, some of them very bizarre. It's going to be an interesting year. We've changed personnel a little bit. We've brought on board my son, Tyrell, who will now be on camera. Last year he was simply off camera and working behind the scenes as a producer. He's a good-looking kid and belongs in front of the camera. He hates it. He wants to be behind it. But like everybody, they may succeed at something that they don't generally isn't their first choice. But my son's coming on screen this year with me, along with Sean Stone, who is a very bright young man, a graduate of Princeton, and happens to be the son of Oliver Stone. So that can only spell trouble when you see Ventura's teaming up with Stones. And it can only be trouble for our government, because I'm a great admirer of Oliver Stone, and his son Sean is a chip off the old block. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He's a brilliantly smart young man. And he's kind of introverted, and I'm going to attempt on the show to make him a little more extroverted by the time we're done. But what's happened, Alex, we're in production right now, and we were doing a very controversial show that involved Dr. Fred Bell, who is the brother of the famous radio man Art Bell. And he did a controversial interview with me just a day or 2 ago, 3 days ago, whatever it was. And he's staying here in Minneapolis, and within 24 to 36 hours later, he's found dead in his hotel.
Now, I see some YouTube videos on this, so it's broken, and I see Godlike Productions talking about it, asking if it's true. You say the production company believes it's true. and I know you've been investigating, and so we're still on 100% confirmed on this, but certainly it's out there now. And I mean, Jesse, specifically, I know you, well, because you probably don't want to get into what you were talking to him about, or perhaps you do, but we need to find out if this is true or not.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm going under the assumption that it is because, like I said, I had a conference call with my production company out in Los Angeles yesterday, and they were all speaking that it absolutely positively that Dr. Fred Bell is indeed dead. Tragically, a very interesting man to talk to say the least. Very well-read man, an exceptionally educated man. He's a direct in-line descendant of Alexander Graham Bell. I didn't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he's a direct descendant of him, you know, and obviously with the same last name, Dr. Fred Bell. And, or at least that's what he told me, and I can only take him as a man of his word. He's very much and has been involved in many U.S. government operations, both as a consultant and who knows what else. And he told me some very interesting things that will be revealed on the show, which I'm not at liberty to reveal right now. But it is, if it's just a simply tragic, circumstantial happening that he happened to do these controversial interviews with me, and then within 48 hours is dead, I don't know. I don't know if there's more to it. I can't make any statement that there is or isn't at this time. It may be just circumstance. It may have been just his time to go. I don't know. But in the words of Colonel L. Fletcher Prouty, who I now hold deeply to me all the time, Prouty said, nothing just happens, everything is planned. And so that always rings in the back of my mind a little, Alex. But I don't want to put anything more into it. He may have just simply, that was his last day on Earth. I don't know.
Certainly, but I mean, good.
But it just seems very strange that he would leave this planet after in less than 48 hours after doing an explosive interview with me.
You've told me the topic off air, and that's what makes it even more creepy, because I have seen a lot of strange things happen in and around that particular topic. But I guess we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, but you know, Dr. Fred Bell, brother to Art Bell, you know, everyone knows him from, I believe, Coast to Coast, right?
Yes.
With Art Bell, probably one of the biggest radio shows in United States history. And Fred Bell was an exceptional, bright scientist type, extremely smart man. And some of the things he revealed me was his intimate dealings with the U.S. government on many, many highly top-secret type operations and top-secret type projects that were probably even way beyond what I was as a Navy SEAL. You know, I would be down, the Navy SEALs are down at the knuckle-dragger level. We are. We're the ones that go out and physically do the jobs. Dr. Bell would be at a level where those are the brain trusts, the way up there that eventually can lead to some SEAL-type operations, certainly. But you know, he's up in the stratosphere beyond anything that I would have ever been even close to with my top-secret security clearance when I was in the Navy.
And we know there's a lot of other shadow stuff going on, like when you had just become governor and they called you down in the Capitol basement and there were 23 CIA agents.
Well, not really. I agreed to do it. They called it they listed it as a classroom thing. That's what it officially was called. And they asked if I would participate in it. So it wasn't that sneaky Pete. I mean, I could have turned them down, Alex. It wasn't that I was required to, but it piqued my interest, and I thought this will be interesting.
Sure, but it goes to your point that I know you've made, that they look like your neighbor.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And there's a lot more to this story that, as it progresses, I don't want to say anything right now, Alex, of anything behind the scenes that I know. But I'll just say this. He told me some very provocative things that I think that I will have to go to the police with. Things that he told me in our interview off the air that I think that I will have to let the local police know what he had told me.
Wow. So, yeah, because yesterday when you told me about this, you said don't you know, don't get into it. We're not going to talk about it. But then this morning, right before you came on, you said, you know what? I think I'm going to have to talk about this. And then we had to go live. So I think that's what you were alluding to, is that this is stuff you're not going to be able to keep quiet about.
Well, you know, but my first obligation is to inform the authorities of what was said to me.
Yes.
And not the general public.
Yes, no, that makes sense.
Then after that point, we'll see what happens from there. But I do want to talk to them.
Well, this is certainly a big deal. Tyrell, I know, is having to come in